Welcome back, everybody, to the Stockton Slap Report. This is going to be our third episode for UFC Fight Night 60. Basically, in this episode, we'll be talking about DraftKings, Countermove, and basically my parlay team. Travis doesn't have a parlay team; he's not into that kind of shit.
Yep.
First off, I'll start to talk about the DraftKings team. Then we'll move to Countermove, and then I'll give you my parlay, which you're already able to see on screen. And I'll give you my explanation and quick breakdowns for it. It's not going to be a long video compared to the other two. We'll just go with the flow. First off, for my DraftKings team, I got Chris Kalidas for the cheapest out of the whole entire card for 7,900. I feel like if you pick him up, more than likely he'll end up going to decision, put up as many points as possible, and he could be a steal if he was able to turn around and win. Um, Overall, I feel like it's a fairly good price for DraftKings, specifically because he's going to be going up against Ray Borg, and he's the most expensive. With Ray Borg's 6 finishes out of 7 total fights, I don't feel like he's going to be able to turn around and finish Kalades. I think it's going to go to decision, and that gives you more of a benefit for Kalades' points. It also frees up some cash for you to pick out some other people as far as DraftKings goes. My second pick, I have Brandon Thatch. Obviously, I feel like this one's a no-brainer. It's either he wins big or he's just going to turn around and get you as many points as possible. But in my eyes, I think Thatch is going to win, and he's going to win dominantly by TKO. So for $10,100, I mean, you really can't go wrong. His average points for his first 2 fights in the UFC, they're saying that he averages 113 points. So if he was able to finish Henderson in the first round, that's an automatic 100. And as it goes down, second round 75, third, fourth, and fifth, I'm almost positive is 50. So I feel like he's going to get a second round TKO. That's 75 points, but he could get the first round just like in every other fight that he's won. Moving on to Dan Kelly for 9,300. I feel like this is one hell of a pick. We've talked about in the second podcast with him win or in my eyes and in Travis's eyes, him winning, and I feel like he's going to win by dominant fashion in the first round with his judoka skills and with him pulling off submissions. I feel like he's one hell of a pick, and for 9,300, definitely a steal. So look for him to be on your teams if you're making any DraftKings teams. Most expensive pick that I have on the card is Neil Magny. I feel like he's a perfect pick going against Kichi Kuramoto. It is going to go to decision in my eyes, but if he just so happened to finish Kumimoto, I feel like it's a perfect pick either way. Rack up as many points as possible. He'll end up getting decision points plus significant strikes, takedowns, guard passes, you name it. So that's one hell of a pick in my eyes as well. And then my fifth and final pick for DraftKings teams would be Chaz Skelly for 10,900. I feel like that's a great pick. It's going to be a fantastic fight. Personally, I feel Skelly has the better chance of finishing in the fight than Ehlers does. And for 10,900, I really couldn't pass him up. And I feel like he's one hell of a pick too. So just to recap, we got Kalades, Thatch, Kelly, Magny, and Skelly, as you guys can see on the screen. Put down in the comment section below if you guys disagree or agree with that team, and we'll move on to the counter move team. For counter move, I have Brandon Thatch for 5,400. Again, I feel like this is a no-brainer. If you're looking for someone that constantly has finishes throughout his career, he hasn't went to the decision once except for whenever he loses. He's not on the winning side of it, and I really do feel like Thatch for 5,400 is one hell of a pick, and he's gonna end up more than likely getting a finish in my eyes, just like I said on the DraftKings teams. For a second pick, I got James the Moonwalker Mutanchi. At first, he was at 5,000 for counter move, but they moved him down to 4,800 against Cody Fister, and it's an even price. For both of them being even, I feel like Mutanchi's one a steal and two a definite for your counter move teams. I definitely think he's going to win. It's just a matter of how he's going to win. Neil Magny for 5,300 as well. Oh, I had him on my DraftKings teams, and I'm keeping him for here too. I feel like he's going to be one hell of a pick, and he'll end up winning by decision in my eyes. So hopefully we can rack up some significant strikes with that long reach, possibly get a couple takedowns, and just go with the flow. And I feel like it's a dominant 30-27 decision. Max Holloway as well. I feel like for him being $5,200, it's a great pick for you guys to put on either team, whether it be Countermove or DraftKings. Um, I feel like my Countermove team is basically complete with Holloway, Magny, Mutanchi, and Thatch itself. I could have four players on my team, and I feel like I could possibly place in the money for some leagues. Holloway is just a hell of a fighter. Cole Miller also could be a steal at 4,400 if you were looking to pick up someone that has a good finishing record when it comes to submissions. Plus, with Holloway's one and only loss against Dustin Poirier by submission and the two by decision. But if he gets finished, I feel like it could happen by submission. And watch out for Cole Miller as well. But I'm a betting man. I like Max Holloway a lot. As I said in the second episode, he's an up and comer, and he's definitely getting himself into our contention with top 5 to top 10 fighters in the featherweight division. Just a matter of when, not if. And then my fifth and final pick for 4,200, I debated between Jim Ehlers and Levin Makashvili, and I had to go with the underdog in my eyes, Makashvili. I feel like he's going to end up taking the fight to decision against Nick Lentz. Regardless, I think he's going to lose. But it's just hopefully he's able to bust his ass and give it his all, and hopefully get a little bit more points than Jim Ehlers. But again, I'm a betting man. I really feel like it's a toss up if whoever you want to put on your team, whether it be Makashvili or Jim Ehlers. I just decided to go with the weak link, and a lot of people I don't feel are going to be picking them. So, yeah, those are my five people on my team to recap once again. It's Thatch, Mutanchi, Magny, Makashvili, and Holloway. And then for my third and final, my parlay. These are the four fighters in my eyes I'm most confident in, and especially with the odds that are laid out. I feel like it's just a no-brainer in my eyes. We have Chaz Skelly. I picked him up at a minus 200. I feel like he's a good pick. He's fought in stiff competition so far throughout his UFC debut and through the first three fights. He did lose to Mirsad Betek by majority decision, but he's bounced back great in a great way, excuse me, from both Tom Namaki, and then he turned around and fought against Sean Soriano, and Tom Namaki tapped out in the first round, and Sean Soriano he got a decision win on. Jim Ehlers really hasn't fought in that stiff competition, excuse me, and I really feel like it's just a good fight for him to turn around and get a victory because this isn't counter move, this isn't DraftKings, this is strictly just hopefully you're able to get the win and make your parlay set up fairly well. Next fighter, James Mutanchi. Again, I really feel like he's just going to turn around and outclass Cody Pfister in every way, shape, and form. So for I believe it was a minus 210 I picked them up at, maybe a little bit lower. I feel like that was a great pick as well. And then you have Brandon Thatch. This is a toss up in my eyes again. Henderson, a great fighter and all, but it's a matter of him moving up to the welterweight division, him fighting someone that's going to be a hell of a lot bigger than him, and the atmosphere and the crowd for him fighting in Colorado. I just feel like it's a recipe for disaster for Henderson, and I think Thatch is going to walk away with the victory. And then I got to throw in an underdog on my parlay, so I had to throw in my boy Dan Kelly. To be honest, I don't understand why he's an underdog in the fight. I feel like he should be a favorite with him being undefeated. And then the one loss on Walsh's records by submission. I just see this fight not going the distance at all, and I think Dan Kelly, as I said in the second podcast, he's going to turn around and he's going to end up getting a submission victory. So if you're looking to make a little bit of coin and you wanted to make a parlay, it would end up being, in my eyes, Skelly, Mutanchi, Thatch, and Kelly. So those are my three teams that I'd like to share with you guys, and hopefully, if you copy my teams down and you make some money, that'd be awesome. It's just the way I feel, and we're gonna head on over to Travis to look at his DraftKings and counter move teams as well.
Yeah, basically, I don't have as much to say about like as Frank there did, but I think my teams speak for themselves. Granted, they may not be the best 12 teams put together, etc. You got Dan Kelly, Fun Size, Jim Ayers, Kevin Lee, and Brandon Thatch on DraftKings. In my mind, I might be able to win money, maybe. I don't. It's 50-50 on that one. Then on the counter move, you got Nick Wentz, Brandon Thatch, Neil Magny, Zach Funsize Makowski, fuck that up, and Jim Hours again. I'm not going to break down each fight. If you guys want to hear me break down each fight, go ahead and watch the other two podcasts on the channel, etc. Yeah, that's all I have to say about my teams.
So basically, Travis is very short with his words. I can tell, and we can probably all tell that he's tired and cranky. He wants to end up going to lay down after this. So, yeah, it's not a problem at all. Those two teams, I think, could possibly win money. The only thing that I'd have a knockdown on is having Nick Lentz in a counter move team. I feel like he's not someone that's going to be able to turn around and get tons of points. Definitely a victory, but it's a matter of finishes on counter move. And yeah, I feel like all in all, it's a halfway decent team. Like he said, he's 50-50 on it, and he just wants to turn around and hopefully make a little bit of coin. It's not like he's
well,
investing tons in it anyway. So,
well, I normally
um,
edit all my teams anyway. Like I go back and forth and edit all my teams normally. So
there you go.
yeah.
But yeah, guys, that's basically it. We just wanted to share our DraftKings counter move teams, and I wanted to share my parlay. Um, the next video that we're going to end up doing is for UFC Fight Night 61, Bigfoot versus Frank Mir. Again, we'll end up doing DraftKings teams, counter move, and parlays. Hopefully, Travis comes up with a small parlay next time, even if he's not going to bet, just to turn around and give his opinion. And yeah, that's basically it for the video. We want to share it with you and hope you guys enjoy it. And yeah, please tune in for UFC Fight Night 61. Like I said, a lot more videos are going to be coming out on the Stockton Slap Report. So if you want to follow me, go ahead look at the screens, Frank __ Hoffman. If you want to follow Travis, it's Travis _Cozy. And if you guys want to follow the Stockton Slap Report, it's at capital TSSR, lowercase EPORT. So, again, I thank you guys for coming on to listen to it for about 10 to 15 minutes, and we really hope you enjoy it and look forward to the next videos. Take care.
Peace.